3, 2, 1.
Before you introduce new material to English language learners, or ELLs, it's important to give them the tools they'll need to understand it.
So a couple directions there. Give me your camera and get your hard book, and I will tell you which page to look at.
One preparation strategy is a chapter walk, or taking time to preview textbook content with your students before they start reading.
Right, the next part says new words.
Leading the chapter walk is Amber Prentice, ELL teacher at Battle Creek Middle School.
All textbooks these days have lots of great pictures, graphs, diagrams, tools to help students really understand and to gain more information from the text.
So everyone, get out your books.
Take a look at your book and open it to page 4.
Textbooks generally contain a lot of elements that can be used to help preview material. One of the things that a teacher can do is to teach students to look for these.
Now, this is the first chapter that we have read in the book, so I am going to show you some of the things that this book has that help you as learners and help you as readers to find out the most important information.
Using the chapter walk technique, Amber will help students identify and use chapter headings and subheadings, unit objectives, essential vocabulary, reference tools like a glossary and index, and visual elements like maps and captions.
What is the title of this chapter?
Check it out. She's showing the kids chapter headings. And here's an extra tip. Listen to Amber's voice. While it sounds different than the way a native speaker typically talks, for students just learning the language, it's a big help.
The first thing I want you to look at is the sidebar here. It's called the sidebar because it's on the side.
Extra tip number 2. Even if it isn't part of the curriculum, take the time to explain new words and vocabulary to students using simple and clear definitions.
The first part says find out. They give you 3 questions here. Before you read, always read these questions. So in your head, you can know this is the most important information.
Amber is showing the students that it's important to know not only how to identify key elements of the text, but also how to use them to aid comprehension.
The next one are new words. We have 3 new words, and they are on here too.
Some books will help you identify the essential vocabulary, but don't be afraid to add to the list.
There are so many words in the text that they don't know. So if you pick out your key vocabulary and pre-teach those words, it helps the students a lot.
Organize the vocabulary around a common theme, then choose readings that can reinforce that vocabulary in context.
These words are words that will be in dark letters in your book. We call that dark letters bold. If the word has dark letters here, that means that it tells what the word means in the glossary.
Excellent. It's important to point out the reference tools that are part of most expository or informational texts, such as the glossary and index, because students will be using these types of texts throughout school.
So everyone, look to the back of your book and see if you can find the word religions in the glossary. Hahua, will you read to us what religions is, the definition of religions?
Religion are the way people believe in pray to a god or to many gods.
One of the things that's important to keep in mind is that they say it takes 7 to 12 meaningful exposures to a word before a student is able to use it themselves. But in my experience, I would say it's even more than that, especially for a beginner.
Next part on our sidebar on the bottom, we have people and places. When you are done reading the book, if you don't know who these people are or where these places are, then you need to go back and reread.
It's important to encourage students to keep an eye on their comprehension. There won't always be a teacher around to make sure everything is understood.
All right, now look at the picture on page 4. When we get to a new chapter in the text, I'll ask the students, what do you see in this picture? Students raise their hand, they explain it to me, and then sometimes I'll throw the question, so what does that teach you about whatever topic it is that we're studying? For example, my students looked at a picture in the textbook about Native Americans, and it showed men in canoes, one with a net and fish at the bottom of the canoe. At the bottom of this picture, there is a caption. The caption tells you about the picture. Hamdi, will you read to us the caption?
Learning from picture, how did Native American of the Northwest get food?
Yeah, so take a look here. How do you think they got food?
Make the students think. Ask open-ended questions. Requiring more than a yes or no answer gives students a chance to practice organizing their thoughts in English and encourages English language proficiency.
Fishing? Yeah, fishing. Can you see the fish in the canoe there? Yeah. So
With all this
I
prep
read a
work
lot
to
of
cover,
Native
does a
Americans
chapter
in the
walk really
Northwest.
pay off?
An activity like this may take some time the first times you use it because it's time-consuming to teach. But if you use it with regularity, it becomes quite simple, quite quick and effective, and students are able to do this on their own.
It helps explain the vocabulary words, and it helps activate students' prior knowledge and get them thinking about the topic. And it can be a very effective tool and something that I always tell my students that they should do before they're reading an academic text. With their houses? Not houses at your house?
I know, the cameras are right here. Abdi? All right.
I am so cold.
Selfish.
Selfish is... This is too much fun.
Funding for this Colorine, Colorado Watch and Learn program is provided by the American Federation of Teachers. For more information on the strategies you have seen and other ways to help ELLs, please visit us online at www.coloриnecolorado.org.